So I'm Michael Lee from the Nerds of Color, and I have the pleasure of talking to Larry the Cable Guy from Cars on the Road. How are you, Larry?
Whee!
Oh
Dad
my
gum,
gosh.
it's Michael. Jeez,
Hi,
we've
what
been
an what
friends for
a
years.
introduction. Wow, thank you for that.
You got it, buddy. How are you?
Um, Now I'm very interested because you've been part of the Cars franchise for so long, the movies, the shorts, and even the Cars Land in Disney California Adventure. So I was just curious with all these new stories and all everything else, what's the what's the one thing you've learned about Mater throughout the years you voiced him?
Oh my gosh, Mater, the older I get and the older my kids get, I every situation that Mater gets in, I try to put myself in that situation, just to breathe the life into the character, breathe a lot of me into the character. Um, I kind of grow with it, I learn things. I literally learn things from Mater, with all the situations that he gets in. So, man, just watching all the people that love him and all the situations he gets into. It's just fun to voice it. It's fun to do new things and have him in new situations and I'll take that's like my own life. I'll be able to take things from my own life and throw it into Mater.
So what are particularly those favorite things you've learned basically? Like what's the most impactful thing that people can take away from?
Oh my gosh. Well, Mater is kind. Just be kind. Be a kind person. Mater's kind. Mater's helpful. Be a helpful. Be helpful to somebody. It doesn't hurt you to be helpful to somebody. Mater's very forgiving. Forgive somebody. Don't hold a grudge. Be forgiving. Uh, Mater's a faithful friend. Be a good friend to somebody. Be a friend. You know, uh, those are all great things that Mater has and Mater possesses that you see in all of these adventures. So pull that out from there. Pull that out and do those things. That's what makes Mater so lovable. He's a lovable,
Exactly.
and don't try to act like you know everything. That's the thing about Mater. Mater doesn't act like he knows everything. But what he doesn't know, he's willing to learn, and he's probably bad at it. And he thinks he's good at it, but he's
Hey,
not. But you know what? Mater's good at what Mater's good at, and Mater knows he's bad at things he's bad at, but he will try it.
yeah, exactly. So a little bit more of a fun question. What are some of the actually not car, road trip essentials that you have to have? Like,
You got to have snacks. You got to have good entertainment system. You have to have a good, you have to have good access to, you got to have your radio in there. You got to have all your Sirius. You got to have all that stuff, you know. And the main thing I have to take is my wife because I'd be lost without my wife. My wife knows that. I mean, it's like anything that happens. Where's my wife? I got to ask my wife. So she's
it's helpful, right?
she's yep, she's in charge of everything. If I didn't have her, I'd be dead in 2 weeks.
Oh no. Well, that's all the time I have. Thank you so much, Larry the Cable Guy. I really appreciate it. And I'm going to tell everyone to enjoy this because it was really a lot of fun.
Oh, good. Thank. Glad you enjoyed it. Thank
And
you.
I had the chance to talk to Steve Purcell, Brian Fee, Bobby Podesta from Cars on the Road. How are you guys? Oh
Good.
my gosh.
We're doing great. Thanks. It's good to be here.
Thank you. So, Steve, just to quickly talk about your animation technique that you implemented in episode one, where Mater kind of daydreams of the Stone Age kind of Cars world. What was that like? Because it looks completely different. So everything's blocky and has rough edges. So I was wondering what was that transition like?
It was a challenge because I had an idea in my head based on the movies that I would watch when I was a kid, the Ray Harryhausen dinosaur movies or Mysterious Island or things like that, where they implemented stop motion, and so we were trying to create that with our medium, which is CGI animation, and our animators were really adept at figuring out a technique for making it feel like that old throwback. And I liked the idea because it helped separate the daydream world from the real world that we came into earlier. So it was really fun to see that through, and I thought they did a great job making it look silly, but still very dynamic at the same time.
Yeah, it had a lot of depth to it. So for Brian, Cars on the Road is an incredible opportunity to see what's out there outside of, Radiator Springs. I was just curious how much of the episodes you directed were based on personal experiences or just genuine curiosity of, land speed records, Bigfoot, and all of that, all of those kind of stories.
Well, the episode about the land speed records called Salt Fever, we actually at Cars 3, we had an old idea where they would go out to Bonneville, same exact location. And it never made it into the movie. I mean, it changed the story. So it just was a back pocket idea that Steve remembered when he was writing and decided that would be a fantastic location. So I got to visit that location. So I do know how it feels to sit there and touch that salt, to see how it feels like you're on the moon. So that was something we definitely wanted to try to, we even lit it with the pink sky and stuff like that. That was all from memory of what this weird place is actually like at certain times of day. And everything else, like hunting Bigfoot out in the woods, that just goes back to, I'm trying to execute what I loved as a kid about those old 80s, those 80s science fiction movies. And then B movie is, we go even back even further to 50s, like 50s, early 60s science fiction movies that are all pulpy. So yeah, it was a treat to be able to really just dive into these other genres and try to get as much out of it as we could.
That's great. So for Bobby, your trucks episode, I really got a Pink Elephants vibe from the dance sequence. I was just wondering, what was that like to coordinate and choreograph? And was that your intention to get that, elicit that kind of reaction?
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely one of the inspirations that went into it. We wanted something that felt kind of very modern and very, of the now, but also kind of kept building in that, chaotic intensity, where anything goes for a sequence in a song. And it was a ton of fun. It was a ton of fun just to come up with ideas and be like, yep, that feels appropriate. Let's do it.
All right, that I have to wrap up, but thank you guys so much for answering all my questions. I had a blast watching all 9 episodes, so I'm going to tell everyone to watch it because it's just so much fun all around. Thank you.
Thank you.
In the lectures, fanboys, professional artists, and professors. Maybe a nerd who's just like you, talking about the things that you like too. So I invite you to the NOC. In full color, you see me. The hard knock life, comics, movies, and TV. Yeah, pop culture with a different perspective. Watch it on your screen, hit play, so check this.